What's going on, guys? This is Ryan with RK Outpost, and it wasn't all that long ago that a certain section of Star Wars fandom that really cares about diversity and representation was praising The Mandalorian and Gina Carano for her involvement, for Star Wars having another strong female character. But then they found out that she might not think the same way they do. And we all know these people want diversity. They want representation and empowerment, but only if those people think exactly the same way that they think they should think. And Gina Carano has shown that she is not that person. She has her own thoughts and will express them. And it scares these people. Let's take a look at what's happening because they want her gone. Again, a month after they tried to cancel her on Twitter, they want her gone again, simply for stating things that a large portion of our society feels. Let's take a look at exactly what she said here, and you guys can judge for yourself how ridiculous it is. Now, there were 3 tweets in particular that she put out, and there's been a couple articles written on this, including Bleeding Cool, right? The Mandalorian. Gina Carano isn't oppressed. She's selfish. Right? A couple hit pieces out there, but a lot of the backlash was simply on Twitter. She says this is how it started off. How is oppressing others a good way to take a stand against oppression? Unless this year's chaos is not solely about oppression, and it obviously is not solely about a pandemic, or we'd all be dead. 2020 is an election year, America. Take back your freedom. Protect the free world. So she says that. All right. That got a couple people riled up. Then she goes into this. And this really got people upset because there are people out there who want to remain in their homes, hidden forever until they can be promised that nothing will ever hurt them. They want to stay in their safe space bubble, right? Gina Carano comes out and says, open up your businesses and churches. Put whatever regulations you want because that is your right, but open them up. You're telling me COVID-19 knows the difference between a protest or praise and worship. I haven't been to church in over a decade, but I would go now. The world is open, but no one is allowed to work. Working is a right that you as an American have. It gives us purpose, focus, pride, and most importantly, a way to support the ones we love. People are dropping like flies from depression and suicide, overdoses, murder. Enough already. Now, this may seem relative. Hey, maybe I'll like that tweet, which I did like that tweet because I agree with a lot of what she said. I do think that we're doing irreparable harm to our economy, to our education, and to our society in general by staying locked down for longer. But that's not really what this video is about. The video is about the people who can't handle the fact that her opinion doesn't line up with theirs. Just like we saw a month ago when these people came after her, they are coming after her again. In fact, when you just look up Gina Carano, right? All that you see, the vast majority of what you see is negative stuff, even though it doesn't have a lot of high interaction, which I find really weird. So you saw a ton of people, Laura, she, they, these weirdos, I don't fucking get these people. They all have pronouns in their bios, right? And they all have pictures of actors or cartoon characters as their avatars, like these fake people. Can Gina Carano shut the fuck up already? There's one. Didn't even want to quote tweet her, right? Screenshotted it, of course. Here's another one. Gina Carano with today's 2 + 2 = 5, because how dare she say anything about oppression in society and then say rest in peace to Chadwick Boseman? Yeah, you can't do that, right? Look at this. Is it safe to say that Gina Carano is a white supremacist? Because it's really starting to feel like she is. Now, I don't know why this is the 4th thing that comes up when you search Gina Carano, right? It has 35 likes. Look at this one. Gina Carano, just admit you're a bootlicking Republican and get off the stage already. This is another person. Amelia, she, her. Are these people all fake? Like, it's another picture of Pedro Pascal. Just like this one. What the heck is wrong with these weirdos? Oh, yo, Gina Carano really disappointed me. Listen, that's okay. I can get that one. That's not too much. Zach Brannigan, if anyone gave a shit about what that person thinks, you lost my respect. Here it is. Look, I couldn't care less about Gina Carano and what her racist ass has to say, but it's making me sick that a person like this is playing in a show that I find much comfort in. Like, girl, just say all lives matter and go, right? This is what it's really about. And when I got a couple of these, I saved a couple of these. Look, great. So a woman in The Mandalorian Season 2, a COVID denier, and a effing transphobe. Star Wars is the fucking worst. I think we found a problem with season 2. Please write her off The Mandalorian. She's not a good actress anyway, and I'm tired of her shit. That's what these people are really after. Because Gina Carano doesn't think the exact same way they do. They don't want her on this show anymore, which is absolute insanity, especially given the fact that 90% of the people in Hollywood do think the exact same way. And now you can't handle it that one actress has a slightly different opinion. And that's not like this is all her Twitter timeline is. This is just a couple tweets from a few days ago, right? But this is not the first time these people have tried to cancel her. It will not be the last. We know what happened a month ago, almost exactly a month ago, actually. This is Data Racer. He got this huge thing assembled. Gina Carano's being bullied and harassed by SJW trolls. They're calling her a racist bootlicker, just like we saw there, demanding she say ACAB, BLM, to prove she's not racist. Gina's having none of it, calling them cowards for trying to bully her off of social media. It's exactly what we saw back then, and Gina Carano's not going anywhere. She's not going to stop talking. The question will be, will it eventually get too much for Disney? And we even have some people, like in this opinion article by Trash Bleeding Cool, that says they're surprised the mouse hasn't stepped in yet to stop her from saying these things. Because that's what these people want. They want her fired. Get out of here, ad. They want her fired. They don't want her working on The Mandalorian anymore. Imagine that type of mentality. The idea that everyone working on this fictional show needs to think the exact same way I do, or I can't watch it. That's nuts. And if you're anyone that's on the non-woke SJW side of things and you think a different way, you literally couldn't watch anything regardless of if it came across on screen or not. Now, I've been a critic of The Mandalorian in general. I think it's a mediocre show. I think it's getting way too overhyped. But there's one thing that's not really in that show, and it's political or social justice messaging. I think that's a good thing. I think it's a good thing to get fans back into it. At least we're talking about the validity of the show and the stories as opposed to the messaging involved. But if I couldn't watch something simply because of an actor's political beliefs, regardless of whether it comes across on screen or not, I couldn't watch anything in Hollywood. I couldn't watch anything ever. So that's why this is so insane. And you remember that this was what triggered people. Gina Carano posting a picture of someone refusing to give the World War II German salute. That's all it was. That's all it took for these people to get triggered about her, and they will never let it go at this point. They come after her all the time. And of course, it's not enough, right? Because at one point, she did post something saying Black Lives Matter, but that will never be enough for this crowd. They will continue to come after her and after her job. Look at what this guy says. Corey Coleman from Double Toasted said that putting up a tweet should sometimes be like putting up a mortgage or buying a house, being open to background check and having a chat with an employee for days. That way, Gina Carano might think twice before tweeting stupid shit like this. These people think that this should be a cancelable offense for life. That thinking this should have you canceled in every way. They don't want you to work. They don't want you to have a job. They don't want you to be able to eat. They don't want you to be able to buy a house. They want you canceled for thinking differently than them. That is what cancel culture is. And it's just getting worse and worse and worse. Every single day we see this. Now, Gina Carano, I think, is losing some of the Star Wars fans in the process of actually speaking her mind. But guess what? Those people aren't actually Star Wars fans. These are the people that only care about identity politics. They only care about the representation. And again, it's only if it aligns with their point of view. She's gaining a lot of other fans, right, for simply speaking her mind, for having the courage to go out there and saying what a vast amount of people in this country actually think, not this elitist Hollywood nonsense. That's why people are finding a lot of respect for Gina Carano. She's winning over a lot of fans, and people who actually care about Star Wars are starting to respect her a little more. So I think it's overall a good thing for her. I hope she keeps doing it. I don't think she's ever going to bend the knee to these weirdos. Will it at some point in time get too much for Disney? Maybe Disney doesn't want her saying that. I could see that happening. So she's supposed to be a big part of The Mandalorian going forward, but I guess time will tell. I, for one, am enjoying seeing these people freak out about simply a woman saying what she thinks. That's what they're supposed to be about, right? That is what they're supposed to be about. But when it actually happens and they don't agree with it, then cancel her. Get her kicked off The Mandalorian. It's absolute insanity, but that's what 2020 is. Let me know what you think about all this in the comments below. Make sure you smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell for notifications, share this video out there, and I'll talk to you later. Thanks for watching, everyone, and a huge shout out to my patrons. I appreciate you guys so much. Want to follow me on Twitter or Instagram? Check out the description below. You'll find links to my P.O. box and my Patreon as well. And I'll talk to you guys later.